might... It's not clams for this one. No, it's sour coal. Okay, so yeah, you want to get to a game 3.
Should be fun to watch. Both teams opting for a 10 umbrella here. That's going to be very nice to be able to control either of the two corridors as you're going down. And so now, as we have these two teams rushing towards the Rainmaker Ascension, going to go ahead and get the early pop, and now we're seeing this 10 umbrella duel early. You should continue to watch it throughout the course of this tournament. Looks like Shinx going to go ahead and get a double. The 3-down situation now for the side of the Thieves, and now that's going to allow Ascension to push, but they have to be careful of this roller. Kind of came out of nowhere. Shinx should be able to clean that up with a hammer, and now I imagine probably get over the Yeet here soon. Can't quite find a connection now, but they're continuing to push forward nonetheless here, all the way just at this choke point now, and almost able to get past this last 10 umbrella, but can't quite get through this choke point.
We've been seeing 10 umbrellas played a lot more recently for Rainmaker, and I think it's a really interesting pick that a lot of teams have come up with. It allows you to kind of guard your carrier all the way through the end if you have like a decently flat surface. So I think it's really nice to be able to see them. I also like that both teams brought the camo tent because having that ultra stamp is really, really strong. But it makes it really hard in that position right there when Willow was up against just too much power from Sven.
Sometimes the thing with that 10 umbrella is it might be a little bit difficult to set it up on short notice. And so that's something that, you know, if your opponents are a little bit quick to you or coming at you from a little bit more of a closer range, you could get caught off guard. But now it looks like the Thieves making a push of their own. They're going to run just right on up through that curling bomb. Willow going to be able to get one pick, but it's a 2-down situation again for Ascension. Have to be careful here as Jimu now pops his Rainmaker. It's a wipe going the other direction.
Man.
Just going to be able to almost run this up. Going to be stopped by a couple of bombs in the process, but it now is going around back. Can they find a knockout? Not quite. Down to the 1 point mark, 2-down situation on both sides. Looks like that one's really... All right, 1 point. It looks like things are starting to slowly settle down, but Ascension has to be careful here. The Thieves might go for a couple more jumps in.
They really do need to watch out where these jumps are going to be coming from, because at this point, they just need to be careful of this push back. I mean, they need to dunk the Rainmaker in order to take this lead back, because obviously 1 point really tough. But I think that Ascension is just failing a little bit to keep getting the picks that they need. Shine doing as much as possible to make sure that they're going to guard their Rainmaker carrier right now, but they don't have this pathway painted, and that's going to create a little bit of trouble, especially like we talked about, if you can't get that tent set up very, very quickly, and I know that's what's about to come down right here.
Again, a little bit more aggression coming out from the opposing 10 umbrella. Blue bomb getting popped now as a bomb gets thrown, and again, that's one of the weaknesses of that 10 umbrella canopy. If you're not careful throwing a bomb at it, may very well spell your demise. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left in this game now for Ascension to try to get something going here, but looks like at the moment they're just trying to stay alive now the Thieves are taking control of it.
I think the Thieves have done a really great job of identifying where the threats are and just shutting them down. They're able to neutralize mid so quickly, just flip back into their favor and really take control. They don't need to right now because a push to 1 is very, very dominating. But you know what? You're always safer if you get that knockout.
And it looks like here the Thieves being a little bit more patient. Overall, again, as you mentioned in the last game, they don't necessarily need to push forward. They know that their opponents have to come in and get a knockout if they continue to maintain control of the mid. Looks like Ascension trying to come forward and steal control a bit from them, but not going to be able to do so now with a 3-down situation for Ascension. It looks like the last one with that heavy is forced to back up. They're still looking to find this opening, but so far the defense of the Thieves has largely held.
Beautiful, beautiful shot right there. I mean, Sven was able to get that other player down, but Evan punished him for it, and that's going to be pretty tough to be able to do this. Ascension doing what they can to get as much map coverage as possible. They do have one special at the ready. The armor was just brought out. Broken for Evan over there. Would have gone out anyway, so maybe this is the opportune time. The Ultra Stamp coming out. The Rainmaker is moving, but no. Evan going down 3-down situation. Really, really tough shot. Tough shot for them.
30 seconds left to go in this game, and so far, again, the defense continues to hold for the Thieves. Willow now pushing forward really just trying to shut things down here. Shinek's going to go down. They're not going to have that hammer at the ready. Ascension is to get a couple more of those picks going, and now as you get a little bit more of an overhead view courtesy of that jump, there's just a bunch of blue ink here around this Rainmaker, and it's going to be extremely difficult for Ascension to get back in. Even this one-down situation, Booyah Bomb right on top of the Rainmaker, and that is going to seal the deal for this first game. The Thieves actually going ahead to take game 1.
Really nice job there. I think they just sort of had that beautiful, beautiful push that kind of sealed the deal for them, and Ascension just wasn't able to come back with that. And they did try. They did a really good job kind of putting up these fights, not able to do what they wanted to. So we'll see if they can kind of turn it around for Kelp Dome.
Yeah, we'll see exactly how the rest of the set continues to play out. You know, at the end of the day, just as most Muscle Forge Rainmaker games do, it really only came down to that one wipe situation onto Ascension from the side of the Thieves. That's what allowed them to push down to that 1 point mark and almost get the knockout, but ultimately still ended them the victory. And, you know, as long as you're playing a little bit more safe when you're in a position like that, as long as you're never going, you know, 3 or 4 down, then you're probably going to be sitting golden for the majority of that match. That was an extremely quick ready up between these two teams as we hop into this game 2 on Splat Zone's Kelp Dome here. I think we'll see double Tenebrella again. I know that that's more of a that's more of a comfort pick for Shinex. Okay, opting for the regular Brella. Will we see a regular Brella on the side too? No, we will not.
Okay. I like the ballpoint pick on each side. I'm really excited with that. And, you know, I think kind of a vanilla Brella and having the juniors on each side is also nice because you get that little bit of armor that you want to make sure you have for all of this type of play when the other team is coming at you and you can hold them off in just an extra second.
Yeah, exactly here, and it looks like Ascension starting to take control of mid, but the Thieves pushing back into a situation though for them, so they're not going to be able to fully cap this zone quite yet. Can the Inkstorm at the very least neutralize? Doesn't quite look like going to be able to now, as Ascension continues to hold on here, and the Thieves have to approach yet again, but this may be their last chance here, or else things could get really far out of control really quickly. They do have a couple specials at the ready. Ink Armor getting popped and that splashdown as well. Now the zone finally getting neutralized, but Dragon again going down. I can't see any of the rest of the members of the Thieves from here. Looks like they're slowly starting to paint. A 2-9 situation for the side of Ascension. I think this will be the cap for them. Putting that penalty maybe soon. Okay, there it is. Finally.
Yeah.
He's getting that cap. We're not going to see a 100-0 knockout that we saw last match.
I was waiting for that cap for a little while. I kept thinking they need to paint. They're running out of time. And, you know, as much as the Thieves are just causing some distraction for Shine right here, making it very, very difficult for Ascension to kind of focus on where they need to be. But they are able to take that zone. They put a 27-point penalty onto the Thieves as well. So it's going to cause a little more of an issue because now they're halfway done with their own penalty. So Ascension slowly but surely breaking this down and getting ready to work on their point once again.
2 specials at the ready as well for Ascension to counter whatever the rest of the Thieves had to throw at them. Looks like kind of teaming up there on Shinex now as they start to approach this zone. They really want to cap this soon, but it's going to be a 3-down situation for them. They're not going to be able to neutralize this zone as that Tyra continues to tick down for the side of Ascension.
Really, really nice job from Ascension to just kind of shut down that push that was coming out of the Thieves. You know, they came in very focused. You could see the Thieves had kind of come off to that side, and 3 of the members were on 1 player. And I think that was their downfall. We didn't quite see it happen, but from the way they were organized and positioned, all 3 of them could have been taken out with two members of the other team. So maybe that was a little bit of a misstep there, but it's not going to be enough. That means we're going into a game 3, right? If my math is correct here.
That's exactly what that means. We didn't see a game 3 last match, or last round 2 we saw, and so this is going to be tower control on Skipper Pavilion. Interesting one here. I don't feel like we see this map mode combination very often. What do you think about this one, Melissa?
I love Skipper. I think it's one of the most thoughtfully designed maps in terms of the aesthetic of it, the concept of it, but it definitely can lend itself a little one-sided sometimes. I think tower control maybe less so than some of the other modes. So I think if anything, maybe this is kind of the pick that we'd want to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what they decide to change up. You know, the ballpoints may be something they want to keep. I wonder if we're going to get a slosher coming out that could help with some of that arc onto the tower that we want to see. I don't know. What do you think, K-Bot? Anything that you're expecting?
You mentioned Slusher. I'm not sure that we have any players here that would lean towards Slusher. I feel like we're going to see some Brella variant. Whether that's, I mean, I know Shinex is almost certainly going to be playing that. And we might see that come out from the other side as we saw in game one. I mean, that Tenebrella worked extremely well for the Thieves earlier. Shinex looks like with the Vanilla Brella and double roller coming out on the side of the Thieves here. A little bit more interesting as we continue pushing forward here. Looks like TJ going for the early armor early in this match now as the rest of these teams approach this Rainmaker. Looks like Ascension was able to get our Rainmaker. Wow, what mode are we playing? We're playing Tower Control.
We're playing Tower Rain Clams.
Yes, that's the one.
It really does look like this little bit of an early lead is gonna start but then stop. So at the moment it seems like I think the Thieves were just looking for an opportunity to take as many Ascension members out as they could. Being paused a little bit from this Stingray, I like this sort of trick that they were doing there to try to make sure that they took that checkpoint, able to get through it. That's all that they want to make sure.
Anytime you can get past a checkpoint, especially a large checkpoint, that first one is here on Skipper Pavilion, it's going to be more beneficial because that's one less thing you have to worry about when you try to make a push later in the match. And so the Thieves able to do that here early in this match. Again, not going to have to worry about that later. And now Ascension trying to look to do the same thing here, but looks like we've got a little bit more aggression coming in from the side of the Thieves and not quite able to clear that checkpoint now as a bunch of pink ink just kind of got everywhere there around that tower real quick.
Very, very quickly. And Jima's doing what they can to make sure that they can hold on to this tower, able to kind of push us a little bit further than they did before, almost to that second checkpoint, but gets taken out by Shine. Willow on the tower now, going to hop off as soon as they touch the checkpoint to just make sure that they get this a little bit further, but if they can't take the checkpoint, it's not going to help them a whole lot.
We'll see if they can get past this now. It looks like they have decent control around this tower as we've got a little bit more of Ascension relying on their range. We got Bum coming into this tower to try to buy themselves a little bit more time, and they are going to get past that second checkpoint just barely. But again, clearing that checkpoint is better than not clearing that checkpoint, and that'll be down to the 45-point mark for the Thieves.
45 to 91, you know, that's half of the points here, but the 45 will move so much faster because they're already through that checkpoint too. So at this point, I think this is where Ascension needs to, they know that they need to make this push. They're pushing it to the second checkpoint, very, very quickly got through that first, and they have a couple of team members alive to be able to try to do this, but if they keep getting flanked around by Willow and that deathly roller, it's not going to help.
Yeah, precisely. Here at a 3-down situation, all courtesy of that Deathly Roller, is going to allow this tower to go back in favor of the Thieves. And again, Ascension having trouble clearing checkpoints when needed most. 2 minutes left in this game for this to go either direction. Willow looks like trying to apply some pressure on this junior, but able to charge up that armor rather quickly. And of course, this is the junior armor meta that we're seeing right now. Evan able to get that pick there onto the Brella and now approaching this tower. And so looks like the defense largely holding for Ascension at the moment. Evan has to be careful now, getting a little bit more pressure applied. And it looks like Ascension is starting to build up some more momentum, hopping back on this tower.
I think Ascension is in a really good position right now to make this push. That armor comes out. They do have a Stingray, which I would have waited for a tiny bit more to use that on this checkpoint instead of popping in early. The problem that they had been running into was taken out right there. Willow with that roller. They are able to get this lead. Really nice job by Shine holding on to that tower, even under all that pressure coming back from the Thieves.
And they're continuing to make this push happen. It's a 2-out situation still for the Thieves as Jimu trying to apply some more pressure onto this Corella. Shinx now going around back and maybe opting for a little bit more of a flanking option. Evan just trying to throw bombs from afar and not trying to dive in there with that short-range junior at the moment. But push down to 22, that's definitely something that you can work with if you are the side of Ascension, but they do have to be careful. They don't have another checkpoint between them and the Thieves right now. And so, you know, this may go a little bit more quickly than you are expecting. Again, about 30 seconds left to go in this match for the Thieves to approach this tower. It looks like they're starting to build up a little bit more in control around this tower. Booyah Bomb coming in to try to dislodge some of the members here of Ascension as they start to push forward.
Really nice pressure that's coming out here. They do have enough time to be able to push this, but if they're all down, it's not going to be enough. Jimu going down at the very last second on screen there, and Shinx gets a really beautiful shot onto Willow. That is going to be the team wipe that they had in Ascension had been looking for as they ride this tower and let time go down. Really nice gameplay from both these teams, though. I'm excited to see what the Thieves will be able to do for the rest of the tournament, because they could make a really strong run in losers.
Yeah, they definitely can here, but Ascension just able to hedge them out as a whole. I think you saw there at the very end that desperation coming out of the Thieves. We saw that jump coming in that was kind of a little bit more of an obvious jump and easily picked off. You know, if you could have picked to everyone, the Dynamo might have been a little bit more risky play, but nonetheless, Ascension able to slightly just get a larger push there happening on the whole, and so we'll be looking to see how far they continue to go in this bracket. Let me